Good afternoon. Today, one more novel we are going to discuss, Frankenstein. Frankenstein is written by Mary Shelley and she was P.B. Shelley's wife. P.B. Shelley, John Keats, Lord Byron, they were late romantic poets and early romantic poets Wordsworth, T.S. Coleridge and Robert Southey. These poets, John Keats, Lord Byron, and P.B. Shelley, they died under 30, very early age. So, Mary Shelley and P.B. Shelley, when they got married, but then at very early age, P.B. Shelley died, and that's why Mary Shelley had to do lot of struggle. She has started this creation. She was started at the age of 18, just 18. So she has started writing Frankenstein and completed after 2 years when she was 20. And this novel published 2 times. So we are going to see in further slides. And here you can see that the man who made a monster. So Victor Frankenstein is the male protagonist of the novel, and how he has made this monster we are going to see. Another name of this novel is The Modern Prometheus. Prometheus is the person who achieved lot of knowledge and who can do a lot. So there is a myth that god of fire, so he snatch fire or something like this, and that's why Modern Prometheus. This novel's name is Modern Prometheus, right? Mary Shelley, she was the author of this best creation, and her little introduction we are going to see. Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley was born on 30th August 1797 and died on 1st February 1851. So she was like 54-55 when she died, and was an English novelist who is best known for writing the Gothic novels. Gothic novels are horrific novels, right? Sad and gloom novels are called Gothic novels. I am not going to discuss in detail here, but guess Gothic novel. And the Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus, that's a name of the another name of Frankenstein. And as I told you that it was released 2 times. First edition on 1818 in London anonymously without her name, and the second edition was released on 1831 in France with author's name, which is considered an early example of sci-fi or scientific fiction. This fiction comes under detective novel also, and is a sci-fi because based on some facts, right? Scientific facts. Okay. Now, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein has stood the test of time, timeless novel as a Gothic masterpiece, a classic work of humanity and horror that blurs the line between man and monster. Yes, that is why there's a very famous phrase is that Frankenstein's monster. If something goes wrong and then there is no chance to come back, so that is called, and that thing which is created by us, and that's if it is burden to us, it's so that is called Frankenstein's monster, right? So let us see what is what's the story. Now, Frankenstein is a frame story written in epistolary form. Why I'm talking about all these? Whenever, it's my suggestion, whenever you're going to handle question in exam, suppose you are of Frankenstein or any work, so don't jump directly to the answer. You just have to give the introduction and realities, like some facts of the novels we should give, and then we should start the answer. So that is why I have written here in discussing. That's the epistolary form, epistolary novel or epistolary fiction. Why? Because the plot develops through letters, and that is why, like Pamela also, Pamela writes letter to her parents, and then we come to know that okay, what's happened, what is going to happen with Pamela, and then development of the plot will is discussed through letters. Similarly here, that's a letter. Through letter we come to know that what's the story. So all development is done through letter. Set in the 18th century, it documents a fictional. So that's a fiction, right? Correspondence between Captain Walton and Margaret Walton Seville. These are the brother sister. Robert Walton is a failed writer who sets out to explore the North Pole. Places are very important. North Pole in hopes of expanding scientific knowledge. It is said that science students are brilliant. APJ Abdul Kalam had advocated many a time that we should inculcate our scientific temper. So similarly, at that time also, Robert Walton wanted to expand his scientific knowledge, and that's why he is moving to North Pole, right? So that's the beginning we are going to see, right? Okay, next, Frankenstein tells the story of Victor Frankenstein, a young scientist, he is also a scientist, who creates a sapient creature in an orthodox scientific experiment. Sapient creature is that's the person who is very intelligent, very intelligent, extremely intelligent person is called sapient, right? So he is sapient creature in an unorthodox scientific, because that's a not a normal experiment, but that is created by a scientist. And who is scientist? Victor Frankenstein. So we are now, before going to narrate the story, let me talk about characters. So let me tell you that there are three main families. One family is first family whom we meet, family members, that's a Walton family. Then second one is Frankenstein family, and third one is De Lacy family. These three families are have been discussed here in this novel. So one by one we are going to see who are in Walton family. So in Walton family, Robert Walton, he is a brother, and Margaret Seville or Margaret Walton Seville is a sister. And when novel opens, then conversation through letters, we come to know that what's going on and how story is started, right? So that is why it's a epistolary novel. Now second family is Frankenstein family. Who are in Frankenstein family? So I would like to start with Beaufort. Beaufort is the Caroline's father, right? And he is the senior most person in Frankenstein family. He lives with his daughter Caroline, and Caroline and Alphonse, they are husband wife, right? So Alphonse Frankenstein and Caroline Beaufort, they are husband wife, and Caroline's father's name is Beaufort, and they all live together. And Alphonse and Caroline have three children. First is, that's a Victor Frankenstein, then younger one is Ernest Frankenstein and William Frankenstein. He is the youngest one and Victor is the eldest one. Third family is De Lacy family. De Lacy, an aged blind man. He is a father, but he is a blind, and two children, Felix and Agatha. right? Felix is a son and Agatha is a daughter. So these are the three family. I'm going to narrate what the story. Other important characters, the monster. Whole story is around monster. Very, very important character. Name is not given. He's a nameless, grotesque creature. Name is not given. Nameless, grotesque, distorted. We have discussed Ashtavakra. Ashtavakra means 8 curve body. So very distorted, unexpected, like unusual body. Similarly, monster have. Then Elizabeth Lavenja. Elizabeth Lavenja is an adoptee, stunningly loving and good-natured girl, right? And she's adoptee. So I'm going to tell you how. Henry Clerval, Victor's childhood friend and confidant. He is Victor's childhood friend and very reliable, whom Victor blindly he has faith on Henry Clerval. Now next is Justin Morridge. Justin Morridge is a young girl and adoptee. Who are adoptee? Elizabeth and Justin both are adoptee. Adopted by the Frankenstein family. And Sefi, the young Turkish girl, right? And very less she is discussed, but along with these characters there are names of professors I haven't included here, but you can read in detail in net, right? Okay, now a story. So I'm going to tell you a story, and then I will tell you another things. First, as I told you that first as novel is divided into, again, novel 3 families, and novel is also divided into 3 parts. First part, conversation between Robert Walton and Margaret Walton, brother and sister. Robert Walton moving to North Pole and he is writing letters to Margaret, his sister, real sister, and he is talking about how journey and where he's going or something. So this is the first part. Then second part. So here who is talking to whom? Robert Walton is talking to his sister Margaret Seville, and he is writing about his journey. Then second part, in which Victor Frankenstein is talking to Robert Walton and narrating his story. So that is the longer part, part 2. Then third, this is divided by me so that we can understand, right? And then third part, where Frankenstein is died, and then again conversation between Robert Walton and Margaret Walton Seville. When he talked and he tells that what happened to Frankenstein and something. So I'm narrating, and I hope you understood. Now, what is the story? Story opens with Robert Walton. He writes letters to Margaret Walton and he says that I am going to North Pole because I want to attain knowledge, scientific knowledge and friendship, right? I want to expand my friendship and all, and that's why he's eager to, and he wants to inculcate his scientific temperament, scientific temper also, and that's why he is willing to moving to North Pole, and he's the captain of the ship and he's moving along with crew members. So this is the beginning. And here he says that I have started, but problem is that it's surrounded, that's a ship cannot move because of ice. Everywhere there is ice, and because of ice our ship is not able to move. Now second part, so that's a not given in the novel, but I'm just telling you. Now he writes to Margaret, Robert writes to Margaret, and he says that, you know what happened? I have seen that, so quite far away there was a man. He's very weaker, like very weak and fragile and very sad, confused person, and he was coming to us. But yes, before him, they have seen one monster, but they are not able to recognize. But someone they have seen, and all of a sudden, they have paid attention and they found that a person who is very weak and who is none other than Victor Frankenstein was coming from coming in the raft. So what happened? He tells to when uh, so this way they found that this a person, Victor Frankenstein, has come to their ship. How? Now next part. Now he's taken care by crew members and Robert Walton and all. Then after some time, when he recovers little bit recovered, then he takes permission to narrate his story. And then he says that he narrates his story, but yes, he says that how did he come to to the ship. Then he says that in my dog's sledge all dogs have died except one, and then he cut the he cut the sledge and made a raft, and anyhow that was adrift, and then it was coming to their ship, and then Victor Frankenstein shifted to the ship, and then he meets Robert Walton. When after some time, when he is okay, he recovered, then he takes permission from Robert Walton and he says that I would like to share my story. Then he says that now main story start from here, and it's all conversation. Robert is writing to Margaret that what did Frankenstein said shared with the Walton. He's telling. So he says that who, Victor Frankenstein, to Robert Walton, that I have come from very good family, affluent family, and a very loving family, affectionate family. Family members are very good, and I have like we live in Switzerland, so this is my family background. And when I was just 17 years old, and then right from beginning I had that uh, I want to know the mysteries of nature and all, and that is why I I shared my feeling with my parents that I want to go to to study of science in Germany. And when he was about to leave for Germany, and in Germany there is a city, that's a Ingolstadt. I have written somewhere. That's a place. Yeah, that is Germany, Ingolstadt. Please keep in mind. So here he takes admission in university, and he says that he takes very good knowledge about chemistry and other science subjects. And then one day he he is actually he is obsessed to get knowledge of natural philosophy. And that's why one day, when and he is the topper, brilliant, sharp student of the university, even he is singed, and he forget outer world, even his family. And then he takes very good knowledge, and and one day he comes to know the secret of life. And many philosophers have said that sometime ignorance is bliss, sometime innocence is bliss. Because once you are innocent, that's good, right? But once if you have knowledge, sometime knowledge spoils our life. Dr. Faustus is a great example, right? So use or misuse of knowledge and excessive ambition, right, sometimes that spoils our life. And here, as he comes to know about the secret of life, and he decides to 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 create a noble race of human being. But then he decides, but then that's a he has a very good intention, and then he starts work on it. He starts genuinely, but he is not able to make normal human being. Reason is that because human being in the internal or out like body, there are small organs, eyes and this and side internal organs and all. And that's why he's not able to make such very refined and small organs. And then the creation he is able to make it, and then he takes help from mortuary, right? And from here and there he collects bones and flesh, so many things, and he is able to make a human being. But unfortunately, that living being is 8 times more than normal human being. But he is not able to do anything, and as he puts the soul, and then that creation is very big monster is standing in front of him, and he is not able to understand what to do. And he is frightened to see such a long, very big giant body, and he abandons. And this is the mistake is done by him, because the moment he leaves, and what happened, that's a yes. And the moment the he leaves, and monstrous becomes annoyed, because he is the creation of Victor. He is the creation of Victor Frankenstein. How Frankenstein can leave him alone? And monster gets annoyed, and monster's name is not given. And then monster decides that he would take revenge from Victor. Now what Victor thinks, that after some time he will disappear, but it doesn't happen. And then now monster's story we will see. Monster tried to cope up his anger, his depression, his loneliness. So what happened after when Victor leaves him alone? So Monster lives in a family, that's a De Lacy family. Here Monster started living nearby, near to their home, and he finds that this is a very big family, a very genuine, affectionate family, and he notices from distance. And what happened? That's a Felix. Actually, there is a story within story. Here, what happened? Felix is the person who helps one family. That's a Turkish family, and Turkish family is punished and exiled because they are charged of murder. However, it's not real, it's not genuine. And then Felix helped that the person for because they are outcasted, and that's why he helped this family, that Turkish family. And who is the head of the Turkish family? Who is none other than, that's a Sefi, the young Turkish girl, that girl's father, right? So Victor helps Sefi's father, and then Sefi's father, and now he is forgiven, and Victor thinks that now I should and so Sefi's father is very happy, and he um requests Felix to get married with Sefi. And immediately that Turkish man changed his idea, and he says that my daughter is her born and brought up in Mohammedan family, and how can I give my daughter to Christian boy? And then he takes her daughter and fled away. But the girl comes back to Felix because she lives the free life, and that's why she's happy with Felix. This happens. But what happened after 1 year? Monster watches, and Monster is very happy to see their life and relationship and all. So one day he approaches to De Lacy family, but then they are frightened, and then they negate and they avoid Monster. Now Monster is very much annoyed, and what we can say that depressed, and then he decides to harm Frankenstein's family. And here when, now that's a story of Monster. And when Frankenstein leaves Monster, and he goes to one one remote place, mountains, to take what we can say that to take some breathing time. And Victor Monster pursues Victor, and he finds that he reaches to Geneva, and here he finds a very young boy, and he's very happy. He thinks that this boy may be my friend, and this boy may not understand my huge body and all, and he's an innocent child, so he may be my friend. So he approaches this boy, but this boy says that I have come from Frankenstein family. So then this Monster becomes annoyed, and he's revengeful, and he decides to take revenge anyhow. But then he wants to do friendship with this young boy. But when the boy screams to see Monster put hands to this boy, and he dies. And who is this boy? He is none other than Victor Frankenstein's youngest brother William. So this way William dies. However, he is die, and then there was no intention, malified intention of monsters. He just wants to make him what we can say, that quiet, and this happened. But somewhat he is very happy. Monster is very happy because what he thinks, that is the first revenge I have taken. And here in Germany, he is doing practical, and he comes back and uh, continues his studies. Victor Frankenstein. And all of a sudden he comes to know that his younger brother William has William is murdered. So he rushed to Switzerland, and he is very much, he feels guilty, and he thinks that I am the responsible for it. However, he comes to know that it is, the person is murdered by Justin Morridge. Justin Morridge is an adoptee, and she is a home house, she is a maid, not maid exactly, but she helps in domestic works. So she is died, and Victor's parents, and they are very sad. But Victor wants to make him relax. So he goes, because he cannot speak that what happened, and because of my mistake monster must have killed my brother. So he feels guilty, and he knows that justice was not the guilt, but he is not able to do, and he is in very much frustration, and he goes to mountains for some time. And as he reaches to mountain, and he sees the monster, and he is very annoyed, and he says monster that I will not spare you. And he screams like anything, he screams like what we can say, that like any to monster, like anything, and he says that I am going to take revenge. Monster just takes his time, and then monster is waiting to Victor Frankenstein, when he must be relaxed. So he is waiting for his relaxation, that once he becomes normal, then I would tell my story. Then monster takes permission to Victor Frankenstein, and he says, listen to me, just listen to me. So then Victor is ready to listen to monster, and then monster says that, think about me, I am avoided, I am neglected from the society, and you have created me. It's not my fault. Now you are the creator, and then responsibility is yours. You have to take my responsibility. Who will take care of me? I am all alone in this world. So that is why do something for me. Victor is not ready to listen anything. But when monster requests again and again, and he requests that I just request you to make one more creature like me, so I will have a company, and then I am not going to show my face anymore. So it's my kind, humble request to make one more monster. Now Victor is in dilemma. He is not able to understand what to do, but finally he agrees, and then he comes back to his home, and Victor's father says that it's a right time to get married. So you just you to marry with Elizabeth. And Victor is ready, but Victor says that I have to go to England for my personal work, and as I come back, I'm going to do marry with Elizabeth. Father agrees, and he goes. And on the way, he meets Clerval, his close friend Henry Clerval, Victor's childhood friend and confidant, like reliable person for Victor, very genuine, nature loving person, very good person, right? So Victor meets on the way when he is going to England. He meets uh, Henry Clerval on Scotland, and he says that to live my friend's home, and I'm going to go to one island and for personal work, and as I come back, then we'll go to Geneva together. He agrees. Then Victor Frankenstein goes to a remote place, and that island he starts the same creation, but this time he makes a female living being. And then work is almost done, and is very frustrated. Even during when he was creating first monster, first living being, then it took 4 months, and after 4 months, amongst like bones and flesh, Victor is very much frustrated at that time, very much tired after 4. But in the middle, he's not able to, because curiosity and everything, and he was not able to leave the work half work, and that's why it is completed in first time. But this time he is frustrated. He has lost his mother. Let me tell you in the beginning, I forgot that actually how mother dies. Mother and Elizabeth, once upon a time when Victor was about to leave to university in the beginning, and then Victor's mother, and that's mother, and that's a yes, Victor's mother Caroline, and Victor's, that's Elizabeth, this Elizabeth Levinja. Both they live in the same house, so they were caught with scarlet fever, and in scarlet fever, mother dies normally, but she dies, and Elizabeth recovers. So that's a beginning, and that happens in the beginning. Now come to this point where Victor meets Henry Clerval, and he says that I'll be coming back after some time, and he goes to the remote island, and he works, and half of the work is done, and all of a sudden he thinks that if I have created this monster, and then now he has to create monster big body like previous one, so then both definitely will produce babies, and then chaos he cannot be able to imagine, and that's a huge loss for the society. So as he thinks, and then work is almost done, and then he finds that from window monster is watching each and everything, but he destroys the body. And the moment he destroys the body and dumps it and throws it, remains, he throws the remains into the ocean. Now monster becomes what we can say, that his wrath, his severe anger, and he thinks that now I am going to damage, I am going to ruin this man, Victor Frankenstein. He takes vow. He vows that I am not going to spare Victor Frankenstein. And then he is very much panic, Who? Victor Frankenstein. And he, as he throws the remains of second monster, and he comes back to Scotland, but he comes to know that his friend, uh, his friend Henry Clerval, he has murdered. He's died actually, but as he comes to know that he is also murdered, and because they have, he shift because of uh, Robert Walton, Henry shifted to his friend, and that's why this Robert Walton is charged of murder, and Robert Walton has to go to prison. And then when father comes, and then he justifies, he gives um, he makes argue, and then after 2 months he is free from the prison because of father's support, and he comes to Switzerland, and he gets married with Elizabeth. But he says Elizabeth that don't live alone, because I have to go for some time today. He goes outside, and the moment where monster finds the opportunity, and he kills whom? Elizabeth also. Now Victor is almost ruined, and as like first uh, Alphonse Victor, the Victor Alphonse Frankenstein, Victor's Frankenstein father, and then because of number of setbacks, father he dies normally, but he also dies. So that first death, William, first mother, and once upon a time mother dies because of scarlet fever. Then William is murdered, Henry Clerval is murdered, then Elizabeth is murdered, and father is died. Then father is died, and then everything is almost finished, over, and Frankenstein is all alone in this world, and he is very much depressed. He is not able to understand what to do. So he decides that I have to find out monster, and either monster may kill me, or I will kill two monster, but then one one of us of both of us has to die, so that I am I will kill monster. I have to kill. And that's why North Pole, while pursuing monster, and he comes to North Pole, and he sees monster, but he's not able to do, because monster anyhow hides himself to that ice, and the poor Frankenstein lives alone, and he is not, and he struggles a lot to find out monster, but he is not able to do. And all dogs except one of that dog sledge, they dies, and then he cuts the sledge, and anyhow very poor, very low like mindset, and very much frustrated, anyhow he tries to cope up to come to this ship. And here, when he narrates his story to Walton, Robert Walton, and then he dies. Why? Because he's very much frustrated, sad, and then body is not body does not support, and this way he dies. Now as he dies, so again Robert Walton writes to Margaret Walton Saville that poor Frankenstein is died, and I'm not able to save him. He was very much weaker, and from even mindset, and a very sad person, and that's why he dies. So he is very much sad because of Victor Frankenstein. And then all of a sudden monster comes to Robert Walton. And then he tells his story. He says that he feels regret on the when he sees the dead body of Victor Frankenstein, and he says that, can you justify my loneliness? He asks Robert Walton. I was not able to cope up because I requested, and I in the beginning I was not a bad fellow, but because of negligence of the society, because of that my grotesque appearance, because of my loneliness, right from morning to evening, I was not able to cope up, and that is why this happened. And Victor Frankenstein, when he was alive, he was also thinking that either I should have shared with someone, so like life, especially William and Elizabeth Beth may be saved this way in dilemma, but he dies. And here, monster at last, he says to uh, Robert Robert Walton that I never think that I would kill number of people, but I had to. And then he says that I am also leaving, and I am going to do suicide so that my presence should not be like in the, it's not good for the world, because I am all alone, and I have to kill myself. And this way he cries and he leaves to Robert Walton, and he dies, and here story ends. Now, murder we have already seen. Now, what this is the all this is the, we can say that, the last words, or what famous uh, dialogue quotations. The world was to me a secret which I desired to divine. So what Frankenstein explains, Victor Frankenstein explains why science was so appealing to him. He is driven by a desire to discover secrets, but that is not the only way in which he is secretive character. He works to create the monster in secret, and he does not tell anyone about the monster until he is on his deathbed. Whole life he suffers alone, Victor Frankenstein. At least two of the monster's victim, Justin and Elizabeth, might have lived if Frankenstein had not kept the monster's existence a secret. So you just remember this green line. You can quote in your exam also, right? You can explain, but yeah, you just remember this line also. I know that while you are pleased with yourself, you will think of us with affection, and we shall hear regularly from you. Frankenstein's father warns him that if he grows distant from his family, very much relevant in today's era. Frankenstein's father warns Frankenstein that if he grows distant from his family, he should take it as a sign that he is not happy with himself. What has happened? That's after technology, we all live for ourselves only. So once upon a time, Mary Shelley had written this, and mouthpiece was Frankenstein's father, and father warns Frankenstein that don't try to live alone, because if you are alone means it's a sign that you are not happy with yourself. Frankenstein suggests that the root of alienation is self hatred. When we enjoy ourselves only, that's somewhat alienation. When you are rootless from the society, from neighborhood, from relatives, so that is somewhat self hatred. So Frankenstein's alienation is something he shares with the monster, who is also alone and also experiences self-hatred. Here Victor, though Victor is surrounded by so many relatives, but then when he keeps secret in his mind, so that's a very suffocating and frustrating. And then that makes Frankenstein all alone, and then Victor becomes alone in this one and also experiences self hatred, and so much so that he kills himself, and this way he kills himself, right? Then conclusion is that there are consequences for crossing boundaries that should not be crossed. So we have our boundaries, we have our limitations, we should not cross the boundaries. The novel is steeped in the ideas and values of romanticism and its critical reaction to the age of enlightenment, where authors had raised question on God. And that's why Lord Tennyson and many have written, no, we cannot question on God's existence. So thus Frankenstein, Shelley explores not only the scientific possibilities of human experience but also the nature of man, self-awareness of ambition. Means we should understand what's our ambition, how long we can fulfill our ambition. We have to be aware on it, right? So that is all. Thank you so much. God bless you.